Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to episode 20 of C.C.O. Complete Client Overview. Today we are reviewing the Seppuku client for Minecraft 1.12.2. I do apologize if I am pronouncing that wrong. This episode is brought to you by my members, Patreon, and all of the people that voted. Be sure to use the link in the description so that you can choose what client I review next. Also, for everyone asking what texture pack I use, there's now a link to download it in the video's description. There's also a link to my Discord server where you can chat with other people in the community or get client configs and enter giveaways. Fortunately for everyone, Seppuku is a free and open source client that can be found on GitHub. Unlike a lot of the other free clients I've reviewed, Seppuku offers its users a very simple custom website, which is a feature I personally find quite helpful. Like I said, the website is very simple with some screenshots of the client, a guide on installing and using Seppuku, which I will talk more about later, and a download page. There's also a linked Discord and donations page. Overall, the website looks good, and even though it is very simple, it still offers its users a lot of useful information on the client. The GitHub page is again very simple, but I really like how the README section has been set up. I'm a fan of the download count, and some of the other information on display is quite interesting. I also like that there are detailed instructions on building the client. There are a few ways of downloading Seppuku. The first method is to visit their official website and navigate to the downloads page. Here you can download the client's jar. Or option 2, you can download the client from the releases tab on the official GitHub page. Although I still recommend building the client for yourself, even if this client is slightly harder to build than some of the other clients I have reviewed. Just in case it isn't obvious, Seppuku is a Forge-based mod for Minecraft 1.12.2. One thing I do appreciate about the download pages for Seppuku is that there are detailed changelogs. This is always nice information to have access to, especially if the client updates somewhat frequently. Seppuku offers its users 136 different modules, so I think it is fair to say this client can be used for both PvP and utility. Crystal Aura. This module is surprisingly powerful, although it does not offer its users as many settings as some of the other clients I have used. The module also has an offhand setting built in. Generally speaking, this is usually built into the offhand or auto totem modules. Kill Aura. Again, this module lacks settings when compared to other clients, but the module itself worked well. However, I did not test it on a strict server like 2b2t for example. Auto Clicker. This module automatically clicks for you when you hold down the left click button. Auto Totem. This module has a few settings and worked well in my experience. Multitask. This module allows its users to perform multiple tasks at once. For example, placing an end crystal and let's say eating. The module itself had a few settings, but I found it to be a bit buggy with higher ping. And again, I did not test it on a strict server. No Crystal. This module is usually called Surround. I've personally found it to be a bit slower than some other clients, but with that being said, it does work and it was somewhat reliable. Obsidian Replace. This module attempts to replace any obsidian that gets broken around you. This can be very helpful in a fight. I personally found this module to struggle with high ping. Burrow. This module places you inside of an obsidian block. This can be useful to negate crystal damage or stop other players from entering your hole. Before we get into the utility hacks offered by the Seppuku client, I'd like to take a quick break and remind you all to like or dislike the video. This lets me know if you are enjoying my content. Anyways, that is enough self-promotion. Let's have a look at some of those utility modules. Logout Spots. This module shows you where opposing players log out. This can be useful to set up traps to spite them for taking the easy way out. Portal Finder. This module highlights nearby portals through blocks. This is amazing for Anarchy servers, especially if you want to change dimensions and don't have the resources to create your own portal. Sprint. This module is for all of the lazy people like myself. It makes it so that your character is always sprinting. Auto Wither. This module automatically creates withers for you. This can save time and make griefing a base much easier. Donkey Alert. I know I have personally gone out looking for donkeys or llamas at some point. Well, this module will notify you if donkeys or llamas enter your render distance. No Hunger. This module can be helpful to newer players that are trying to escape spawn with no food. Just remember to turn the module off if you want to mine blocks. Auto Gapple. This module automatically switches to and eats a gapple when your health reaches a specific threshold. No Desync. This module tries to keep the client and its modules synchronized. This is very helpful, especially on servers with a low TPS. The default keys for opening the GUI are either right shift or the grave key. These can be changed once you have loaded into the client. Upon opening the GUI, you are greeted with a tutorial on how to set up and use the client. This is actually very helpful as Seppuku is set up quite differently from all of the other clients I've reviewed. If I'm being honest, at first I was confused and frustrated at the layout, but once I took the time to read through the guide page on their website, things started to make more sense, and I actually started to like the GUI. I like how customizable the windows are and how they snap in place, but some of the other features are a little broken and or confusing. For one, tooltips don't show on top of other modules. This is very frustrating as you have to move or disable your layout to see what a hack is used for. I also found the naming of modules to be strange. While I am all for clients being unique, I must admit it takes some time to get used to. For example, if you are looking for surround, you won't find it, as it's called no crystal. For a second example, you won't find a name tags module, but instead you can find name tags under a module called wall hacks. And this applies to quite a few of the modules offered by Seppuku. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing though. With time you can learn these things, and in the end I actually really like how the GUI is also the HUD editor. The devs call this the hub or center of the client. I also like how customizable the GUI and its different categories are. The more I use Seppuku, the more I appreciate and enjoy its uniqueness. Fortunately for Seppuku users, there is a guide page on their official website. I personally found this guide to be very helpful, especially when I was getting used to the GUI's format. There's also a link to their official Discord server. I didn't personally need any support, but from what I could see, anyone who asked for help quickly received a response from either one of the admins or another player. The Discord also has a bug report channel, which I personally like to see. This can inform and or remind the devs to fix bugs in a client. There are links in the description to the official Seppuku Discord server and website/GitHub for anyone that would like to try the client for themselves. In conclusion, I personally really like the Seppuku client. It is definitely one of the better free clients for Minecraft 1.12.2. I would recommend trying this client for yourself and maybe even trying to pair it with other more PvP focused clients. With all of this being said, no client is ever perfect, and I would love to see small improvements like a custom font option or the tooltips bug being fixed in the future. While initially I was not a big fan of the GUI, after taking some time to learn how it works, I actually ended up really liking it. I will definitely be keeping my eye on future updates of Seppuku, as I personally think this client has a lot of potential. Thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. I really appreciate your time. Before you leave, remember to vote for next week's episode of C.C.O with the link in the description. If anyone is still here, I assume you enjoyed the video, so please consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing. I've also recently made a KiLAB Gaming memberships area on my channel, so be sure to check out the benefits with the join button. Quick shout out to my Patreon and members for all of the support. Without them, I would not be able to try new paid for clients. Anyways, it has been your boy KiLAB. Peace in the Middle East.